Are you tired of always putting others' needs before your own? Today, I want to talk about something that I think a lot of us struggle with, being a people pleaser. You know, those individuals who always put others' needs and desires above their own, often at the expense of their own happiness. In this video, we're going to explore 5 key reasons why you should stop being a people pleaser and how it can benefit your life. So, let's dive in. You might be thinking, what's wrong with making others happy? And I get it, it's great to be kind and considerate. However, there's a fine line between being kind and being a people pleaser. When we constantly prioritize others' needs over our own, it can lead to some serious negative consequences. By constantly seeking validation from others, we can start to lose our sense of self-worth and identity. We begin to define ourselves by what others think of us, rather than what we think of ourselves. And that's a scary place to be. So, let's move on to the first reason why you should stop being a people pleaser. When we put others' needs above our own, we can start to undermine our own self-esteem and self-worth. People-pleasing can lead to a vicious cycle of seeking validation from others, which can be incredibly damaging to our mental health. We start to feel like we're not good enough, that we're not worthy of love and respect unless we're constantly doing things for others. And that's just not true. The more we seek validation from others, the more we start to lose ourselves in the process. We forget what makes us happy, what we want, what we need. And that's a sad place to be. When we people please, we're constantly trying to fit into someone else's mold, rather than being our true selves. And that can lead to feelings of insecurity and low self-esteem. Let's talk about the second reason why you should stop being a people pleaser. When we constantly try to please others, we often neglect our own needs and desires. When we're too focused on making others happy, we start to forget what makes us happy. We forget what we want, what we need, what we desire. And that can lead to feelings of frustration and unhappiness. We start to feel like we're living someone else's life rather than our own. We're constantly trying to fit into someone else's expectations rather than living our own truth. And that can be incredibly draining. We start to feel like we're living a lie, like we're not being true to ourselves. When we people please, we're often sacrificing our own happiness and well-being for the sake of others. And that's just not worth it. The third reason why you should stop being a people pleaser is that it can lead to unhealthy relationships. When we're too focused on pleasing others, we can start to blur the boundaries in our relationships. We start to sacrifice our own needs and desires for the sake of others, which can lead to feelings of resentment and frustration. We start to lose our sense of self, our identity, and our autonomy. We start to feel like we're not in control of our own lives. And that can be incredibly damaging to our relationships. We start to feel like we're in a codependent relationship where we're relying too heavily on someone else for our happiness and validation. When we people please, we're often attracting people who take advantage of us, who manipulate us, or who use us for their own gain. And that's just not healthy. The fourth reason why you should stop being a people pleaser is that it can lead to stress and anxiety. When we're constantly worried about what others think of us, we can start to feel like we're walking on eggshells. We're constantly trying to avoid conflict, to avoid rejection, to avoid being judged. And that can be incredibly stressful. We start to feel like we're living in a state of constant anxiety where we're always on edge. we start to lose our sense of peace, our sense of calm, our sense of tranquility. And that's just not worth it. The fifth and final reason why you should stop being a people pleaser is that it can stop you from living your true life. When we're too focused on pleasing others, we're often held back from pursuing our own dreams, our own desires, our own passions. We're too scared to take risks, to take chances, to live our own lives. And that's just not living. That's just existing. So, now that we've covered the 5 key reasons why you should stop being a people pleaser, let's talk about what we can do instead. We need to start setting boundaries, prioritizing our own happiness, and living our own lives. We need to start being true to ourselves, rather than trying to fit into someone else's mold. It's time to take back control of our lives, to start living our own truth, and to stop pleasing people. In conclusion, being a people pleaser can have some serious negative consequences on our mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. So, remember, it's okay to say no, it's okay to prioritize your own needs, and it's okay to be yourself. If you've struggled with pleasing people in the past, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.